Okay, finally, let's talk about maps. Okay, maps is the last of task 1. So these are example of maps that you could get. I'm just going to focus on pretty much the two, because the more common one is you have 2 maps, all right? And one of them will of course be, one of them is normally before the other. Okay, so 1995, 2010. It could be like now or today or 2015 or something like that, or it could be 2 past years. Okay, so, and of course the one that is the more recent map is more developed. Okay, generally has more buildings, fewer trees, etc, etc. All right, just like that. This one is more developed than this. Okay, now, so introduction. Paraphrase the question. You can say the 2 maps, pictures, diagrams show the main changes which took place or have taken place in what, between what and what. Overview. In general, it can be seen that what you could say generally is that this has become more modern. This city has become more modern with more buildings or more whatever than before, or more buildings and fewer trees, etc. Can you look at some examples? Okay, again, I give you some phrases, but don't just think that you need that this will prepare you for every single thing, because you learn the principle, what the overview is. Okay, ask yourself, don't you think if you were to say, oh, in general it can be seen that this has become more modern with more buildings and fewer trees, don't you think that that's a good overview? Okay, you don't focus on anything in detail, you look at the big picture view. Okay, so this is what I'm giving you here. Okay, if it fits what you're looking for, great. If it doesn't, then think of what you have to do to write 1 sentence, 2 sentences max of an overview of the graph or the map or whatever you have before you. Okay, then I've given you some verbs here, all right, and these are ways you can talk about changes. Okay, this was destroyed, this was knocked down, and these are the noun version of the verbs. Okay, and this is the position, stating the position northwest. Always try to use the position in relation to another feature. Okay, so let me apply all this very quickly. So you have this tumble down to 1995 and 2010. So this is one way you can write this. Okay, the 2 maps, let me just put this map, let's have a look at this. All right, so the 2 maps illustrate the changes which took place in Tumbledown between 1995 and 2010. All right. Now, if this is 2015 now, then it wouldn't be took place. The changes which took place, it will be changes which have taken place. Okay, from the past until now. But this is both in the past, so you use the past simple tense. All right. This has to do with tenses. Okay. In general, it can be seen that the city of Tumbledown has become bigger. Okay, I would say this is wrong. Shouldn't be has become bigger. We should be became bigger, because again we're using the past simple, not the present perfect, because the past simple signifies something that's over. Now look at this. This is 2010. Can you be sure that in 2015 it's like that? No, we don't know what happened. What it looks like now. We only know it became bigger. Okay, in between 1995 and 2010. Maybe, who knows, maybe it's now smaller, who knows, maybe it's a deserted town now. You never know. So you're only focusing in the past. That's why we use the past simple. Became bigger with more buildings than before. Okay, so you have more buildings now. Then, so you have 2 body paragraphs. You have to make a decision again. Where's your first body? Where's your second body paragraph? Where are you going to focus on this? Again, this is a map, so you are just going to, you're going to describe the changes, and that's basically comparing. Okay, so I would say the first body paragraph is going to be things in the north. Maybe this is a river. Okay, it looks like a river. Could be a road, but it looks like a river. So let's use the first body paragraph to talk about the river, the changes that above the river, and the second body paragraph below. Okay, this is your decision that you have to make, but you have to remember, as I said in the previous video, you have to make sure that there are there are 2 body paragraphs. You can't have just 1 body paragraph and lump everything together. Okay, so To the north of the river, again, we're trying to use all these phrases, okay, to talk about where this is located in relation to another part. To the north of the river, the park made way for a science park and museum, which was slightly bigger in size. Okay, the school, which was to the east of the park in 1995, was demolished and a hotel and spa were built in its place. Finally, some shops were constructed to the south of the hotel and spa. Okay, so we're just describing the changes that have taken place, what what happened, and etc. Okay, to the south, the farmhouse, or to the south of the river, maybe you can say, of the river, the farmhouse and farmland were both replaced by a science academy and science laboratories. All right, the city of Tumbledown expanded. You see this one expanded to about 1.5 times its size, while there was a hospital to the northeast, okay, in relation to Tumbledown of the city. It no longer existed in 2010. To the east of Tumbledown, the large wood area was cut down to about 20% of its original size. The top area was replaced by a high-tech center by 2010. Okay, so what are we doing? We are just describing the changes, comparing it. Now, I'm just going to change this very quickly because I want to use some of the nouns. Okay, we talked about, we use a lot of verbs here. So, did we use any nouns? Okay, let me just, this is fine, okay, but I just want to show you how to use the nouns to in the sentence rather than a verb. So the farmland were both, okay. To the south, we could say something like that. There was the replacement of the farmhouse and farmland, replacement of this with a science. Okay, so I rather than saying this was replaced by, I put there was replacement of what with this. Okay, so this is a noun. The city of Tumbledown expanded. This is in a verb. Okay, the verb describing the changes. Okay, so I just want to show you just at least how to use a noun. You don't have to. It's a bit more difficult. You could just use all the verbs to describe the changes. Okay, so yeah, just make sure you divide it into body 1 and body 2. You make sure you know there's a logical division. When you divide, there has to be some kind of logic to it. You don't just divide it. This part goes to body 2, this part is body 1 just for fun. Okay, so the logical division is here to the north of the river, to the south of the river, and you always want to try to use your location to the north, to the south, etc. Not you don't have to do it for every single sentence. Okay, all right, so that's all.